Hey guys, and welcome back to another Grower Solution video. Today, we're excited to talk about one of our newest items that we have to offer. That's gonna be this mechanical crank handle for our roll-up side kits. Now, a lot of our greenhouses, we already have an upgrade for your kit for the roll-up sides. It's a manual handle that you just turn the tube with the handle. So what we got here now is a crank. It's gonna be a 4-to-1 gear ratio. It's gonna make it a little bit easier on you rolling these sides up and down. One of the neat things about our kit is we also include the vertical guides and ground stakes for extra added security. So when we would talk about putting these on your greenhouse, we're not gonna have any exact measurements. If you look at your greenhouse for your roll-up side kit, we do suggest at least 12 inches off of the end wall for your roll-up side tubing. So with that being said, you have two options for getting your ground stake into the ground. What we did on this particular house is we went ahead and just held our mechanical crank into the tube without drilling and putting our bolt in. What this allowed us to do is get our location for our vertical guide. We put a mark on the ground where our vertical guide met. We went ahead and we took the larger diameter, the 1-inch diameter ground stake. It's 18 inches long. We drove that into the ground 12 inches, left us about 6 inches above the ground to get to the top of our footboard on our greenhouse. And then we went through, we drilled our mount hole for our handle. We went ahead and we put the vertical mount into the ground stake. We've got a nut and bolt here that's gonna hold the spinning part of the crank into the tubing for the roll-up side. And it really does simplify the entire process for getting your house down. Now, it does take a little bit longer for these roll-up sides, but with it moving a little bit slower and with no up or down force, it really helps the greenhouse roll-up side to go up as one unit, as opposed to sometimes on our manual cranks, you may have a dip or one side end up a little bit lower than the other. With the slowed down speed of the 4-to-1 gear ratio in this mechanical crank, it really helps bring the entire roll-up side up and down all at once together. To help with this roll-up side is we've gone to the back side here and we've put another ground stake and a vertical guide post, again included in the mechanical crank kit. With that, you have a 6-inch, 3/4 inch piece of tubing that's gonna just float inside of your roll-up side tubing. You'll take a 1-inch bracket and it'll slide over the top of that, and that was gonna allow for the roll-up side to be guided up without being flopped around by the wind too bad. We've still gotta add our wind strapping to this kit, but that will also be with your roll-up side as you normally order the upgrade. You see you've got this 3/4 inch piece of tubing going in here. Now there's a lot of slack, that's intentional. We want that to just be a guide to help keep the roll-up side from coming off the side of the house too much. So we've done the same thing with the ground stake here and the 3/4 inch tubing. Now with this kit, this will go perfect with your Dakota house, your low sidewall Super Duty, your low sidewall hoop house. It also goes really good with our affordable hobby house. The manufacturer suggests only going to 5 feet with the torque on the gears. So what we will do is in your kit, you will have a 5-foot vertical. This will allow you to go all the way to the 3 or 3.5 feet of your sidewall in any of our low sidewall kits, but it'll also allow you to put it on a high sidewall kit and get up to about 5 feet in height with your roll-up side. Now it is a little bit shorter than your standard 7.5 foot with our manual crank, but really feel like when you get to that 5-foot mark, you're gonna be happy with the ventilation you get, and you're gonna be much more happy with that mechanical crank.